Can you guys guess what truck stop is this? This is definitely not my yard, right? Or Cambridge, Ontario, where we were holding our last communique. And this just illustrates how quickly things can change in trucking. So just on the day before, when I was complaining about making no money and still waiting for that auction, I got a call from dispatch saying there was a rush load from Ontario to Baltimore, Maryland, and I was driving all day yesterday. I couldn't, and these were just two. Here's another K-Whopper W900, many people's favorite, not mine, but I'm just gonna show it to you guys anyway. Class 1 transport, McVayton, Pennsylvania. And then he paused for me to get into my movie. But anyway, yeah, so I got basically a flatbed load, 2 rolls of rubber that I did before, but this time they were just like 6 feet tall, so all my paperwork said flatbed. But it paid pretty good, you know. I just had to drive like 2 hours away from my home area, pick it up, and then bring it here. And it was a rush, go. There's a 10 o'clock appointment, crane appointment. And so I'm at the consignee at 10:03 a.m. And I see no crane. I walk inside, there's a huge forklift sits in there. Like the same type that loaded me. And so I ask them, I say, guys, where's the crane? And they say, what crane? Oh, I said, you have a forklift. Oh, it's just a rental. You know, we picked it up, they say, like a week ago, but then you guys had some kind of a ice storm, snowstorm, so these couldn't be shipped. Huh. So that's why it was such a rush delivery, because they were waiting for this stuff for a long time. And but the good news is that as I'm driving, I was looking at, always looking at the opposite side on the traffic to see if there's any lowboys, and I saw a bunch of lowboy trailers, some of them loaded, some empty, but there were much more loaded trailers. So I think heavy haul stuff is picking up. And proof of that is also that my dispatch says there's a load for me. That's why I just drove to this TA truck stop near the port. I'm picking up some kind of a machine. But first I gotta do my... look at this weird trailer. Huh. It's a Western Star, the new type, and the guy did something with his trailer because it's probably reinforced. I once saw a trailer like this, only it wasn't aluminum, it was steel, and the bow was crazy. And I talked to the guy, I said, what kind of trailer is this? And it turns out what some guys do, they buy a cheap trailer, the one that cannot hold much weight, that frame rating. Like my previous 3-axle step, I specifically bought that one because it could hold 80,000 pounds in, I think, 10 feet of length. So it was a very strong frame, and it was heavy because it was all steel, but I was very confident about the strength of that trailer. But some guys buy cheap trailers with less capacity, maybe because they don't need it, and then there's some kind of an opportunity. Like this guy said, he bought a regular step deck, with regular frame, not like mine, and then he started hauling. There was like a customer that started giving him very heavy loads, and he said they were paying pretty good. So he found a weld shop, and he said he paid like $6,000 or $8,000, and they welded just to make the trailer stronger. Underneath the bottom rail, they welded like this piece of metal, like a plate under both on the gooseneck, and it made the trailer much stronger, but also of course heavier, and it developed a crazy bow, you know, and or bow. And basically, and he said now he cannot even lift the third axle, like the rear axle, when he's, you know, driving empty, trying to, like what I do when I'm, you know, have a light load or I want to save on fuel, I just raise the lift axle. This guy, because of this, he couldn't even raise the lift axle in the back because his trailer was so curved that it was pushing the last axle into the ground. So anyway, we'll continue once I have this machine, because now I have to do, I even didn't have time to send paperwork for this load to my dispatch. You know, I just said load delivered. Now I have to do my IFTA, and so I have to show all the states. My last run was empty from Connecticut, so I have to count all my miles between Connecticut and Ontario, and then Ontario, Maryland. So that's gonna take a while. And it's back to sitting, to my sitting mode. So seems like my truck has two modes: sitting and a rush. I forgot all about this. Sorry, let me just adjust this a little bit. I forgot all about the brake, lunge brake these guys have here. So I have all my paperwork and for the machine, and it's a used CAT 962, so it's not exactly the lightest one. So now I just need to wait till this shed 12 opens, if it's the right shed. And if you watch my videos, you know I always mix them up. But last time I was persistent. When I was loading here, I said, okay, how do you know from the paperwork that it's your shed? So can you give me some pointers, you know, like, because it's all Mid-Atlantic terminal, right? There's like shed 8, 12, right? 11. And he said, the guy said, if it says ACL on the bill of lading, that means it's us. And right now that's what my bill of lading says: ACL, goods available at ACL, care of Mid-Dundalk Marine Terminal, 2700 Browning Highway. And I managed to get in, and this time it was nice because they already, you know, remember last time I had trouble, right, with my truck because my license plate was not updated. I mean my driver's license. And now she says, you pick up the phone over there at the gate and you call them, what's your license plate? And you give them your license plate. As soon as I said my license plate, she says, SERGEI? I said, yeah, how are you doing? And that's it. Then they print out that receipt. You go in, like not a receipt, what is it called? Yeah, it looks like this. That's what it comes out on the machine. And this is confusing, right? Because it's hard to hear. It's very loud over there because the phone just sits outside. And I remember first time I went there, this pass got stuck inside the machine. Or sometimes, you know, when the guy in front of you pulled out like the blank one halfway. Actually, that's what I just did. And then what happens when she hits the button to print the pass, it prints one pass on two blanks, you know. So it's like all messed up, and you have to call her and reprint it. And I didn't even know there was a pass coming out, right? She said something. She asked, like my first time, she asked me for my truck license plate. Do you have twig? I said, yeah. Okay, and then she said something very quickly, and it was like a rush of wind. I couldn't understand. And I look at the machine, there's nothing there. I mean, I just thought it was a telephone, right? And I drive to the booth and give them my license, driver's license and the twig, and they say, where's your pass? I say, what pass? You didn't pick up anything from the machine? I said, I talk on the phone to the lady. Well, there was a pass supposed to be coming out of that little, you know, hole in there. Okay, park your truck and walk back there. It's probably still there. I see that you went through this gate and there's no trucks behind you, so the pass is probably still in that slot in there. Oh geez, so I ran back, grabbed my pass before somebody could steal it. I still remember, you know, that was my first experience. But anyway, so yeah, now I'm just waiting, and I see a bunch of fire in the distance there. If you can see yellow color, that's all cat. I see excavators, I see those mine dump trucks. Looks like they got some machinery. And over here I have some farm tractors with tracks. Rubber tracks, and I'll be going somewhere there behind this building. That's where usually they park. I see lots of green John Deere tractors in the distance, but I don't know, mine is supposed to be yellow, right, because it's a cat. I guess they bought it overseas or something. And then I'm going to north of Toronto, just 1 hour north of Toronto, Barrie, Ontario. So we'll try to. I forgot to charge my GoPro, so I'll try to show you guys, you know, the loading process. I'll just use this smartphone. By the way, there's a bunch of trucks, and they do look familiar. Look at this. That's exactly the color my truck was, right? Only mine wasn't 4x4. This one on the right, on the tailgate, there's a decal 4x4, actually, like you know, those numbers there. And these are, it's a crew cab. It's the most expensive one, with 4 doors and 4x4 aluminum wheels. No, in case somebody's wants to ask if I missed the truck. Yeah, sometimes I miss the truck, but I don't miss the weight and gas mileage, because that thing was almost 2 times heavier than my car, you know. And that's what you're burning gas for, like between lights, especially in the city. You just burn gas to accelerate that mass, you know, to the next light. So like I always say, you know, pickup trucks are cool. They're very useful if, in 2 instances. If you tow something, like you have a boat or you have a camper or RV, and 2, if you are, you know, if you do lots of fishing or hunting, or, you know, maybe you're a sniper that does some part-time sniping on the side. So, and you need a 4x4. Right, you need an all-wheel drive so that you can get into that swamp and start shooting. So that's who these trucks are for. I found my machine. That's what I'm picking up. It has a huge bucket, very ugly. Yeah, and it's a Cat 962H. And I have to remember to log this to prevent articulation. Hello! Yo. Hi, someone was saying, how do I carry the camera? That's how. It's not implanted in my forehead or in my eye or in my neck. It's on my head with this very nifty invention called the strap. Alright, so we have here, okay, that's the bucket. And that's our reverse forward. Alright. Everything looks straightforward. And I know right away what the problem is. See? we need the master switch. Where is it? Master switch, master switch. Oh, there you go. Nothing happens. See, the horn does not work. That's not good. Let Uncle Sergei investigate. Okay, found it. It wasn't this, it wasn't this, it was this. See this open? There's a key in there, pointed to circle, which is not good. It should be pointed like that. No big deal. So now we turn in the key. Or yeah, this is a very old and ugly machine. See, that's how you operate these things. Like, no biggie. Yeah, I'm just getting rid of some liquid that was in there. Oh boy, it's one of those articulated ones. I know one thing that annoys the heck out of me is the how do you turn off this stupid thing? It just blows. Oh. Oh, where is it over here? That's the, oh, it even has a camera. Wow, where is it pointing? Oh, backwards, I think. Okay, I'm almost done. Well, pretty much done. So this is how you secure a machine. This is a relatively big loader, and I was just looking, like always, I look for marks. So I saw that there were like dents in here, so I knew that that's what they use, and there's nothing else. There's one center pin, which is not good because then this whole thing will be bouncing. And then there's tied down here. I used those, and I found some over there again with marks, and I protected, you know, you gotta protect the chains with some rubber, which was I found on the ground, but I have some of my own as well. And one tip I wanted to give you guys, if someone is new at this, you always have to count how many chains you have pulling back and pulling forward. You know, this bucket, it's a massive bucket, and I decided to use my 3/8 chain. That's the only 3/8 chain I carry. All the others are 1/2 inch. I just use it on my timber. So over here I just used two of my massive chains, because there's a hook on the top, and so these are pulling backwards and these are pulling backwards, right? And then I have these two, they're pulling forward just slightly, and then this one was here, okay? And I noticed that when I try to tighten these ones, I could hear the sound coming from under the bucket, meaning that the bucket was moving, you know, because there were too many chains were pulling the machine backwards, you know. And I had a protein bar in the morning, so basically, you know, this machine is nothing. After you have 32 grams of protein, and you have some handy binders, you can move a mountain. So basically, it took me 2 minutes, right? I just undid these binders and I flipped them over here. So now I have two chains over here pulling towards the truck, right? And I have two chains here pulling towards the truck, and I have 4 chains in the back. Normally I don't count the chains on the bucket, but because this time I use these massive 1/2 inch chain, they count as because I could feel, you know, I made them pretty tight. And also it took me a while over here, everything was rusted. I knocked down the spin, it was over here, and then played with the machine a little bit, twisting it and turning until the spin fell down, and then I put the safety pin in. You gotta do this when you have an articulating machine. So all the doors are closed. Normally what I try to do is I try to fold the mirrors, but this one they're just a bracket, you cannot fold them. And I'm just checking to see if I got the permits, but it's already 3:23. I worked pretty hard yesterday. I think I don't see the permits. Hold on, something is beeping here. Oh, it's just a comment on my YouTube. So there's no permits. Time now 3:23. I only had a bunch of coffee and 1 protein bar, so might as well go to the truck stop and have a proper meal. So thanks for watching. As Devin Supertramp says, over and out.